Radio Beaverton here again, with a little blast from the past. I was out in my garage the other day, digging through boxes out there, and I found two of my old books. I found from the Dragonriders of Pern Chronicles, so I thought I would talk about those. I don't know if people still know about that series. I don't know if people still read that. It's called Dragonriders of Pern. It's by Anne McCaffrey. I have here, I've read the whole original trilogy and a couple of the other books. I know nowadays there is like 22 books because she kept writing until she died. And her son wrote, kind of like the Dune books, you know, where Frank Herbert wrote the first 3 and a couple of others. He wrote 6, I think. And then his son, I believe, took over the writing and kept going until it was kicking a dead horse. But I haven't read too many. I've read this one, and I read Dragonflight was published in 1968, so quite a long time ago. Dragon Quest followed after. I read that one in 1970, and I read The White Dragon in 1978. That's when it was published. I read it sometime later. No, I also read Merida, Dragon Lady of Pern, and I also read a couple of the Harper Hall series. I don't remember if I read them all or not. I have Volume 2, and I thought I had Volume 1, because I distinctly remember Volume 1. So I must have read them all. It was quite a while ago that I read these. I've always remembered them, though. I sometimes look them up on Wikipedia to refresh my memory. Anyway, if you don't know about this series, it is a science fiction fantasy series, story set in a distant future on another planet called Pern. The backstory is colonists from Earth arrived at a planet, they landed there, something happened that caused them to devolve back to a sort of a late Middle Ages, early Industrial Ages period. And also, they were under threat by something called Thread, basically a giant brown dwarf sort of body gets close to their planet every now and again, and these Thread, which seem to be like oversized virus, they're really bad, make the leap from that planet to theirs, and they're totally inimical to life. Any carbon-based anything they touch is destroyed. Plants, animals, people, whatever, it's whoosh. So when the people first arrived on Pern, they discovered these small reptile-like creatures that resembled dragons. They called them dragons, and they would notice that these little creatures would defend themselves against this falling stuff by ingesting a type of phosphorus rock and then burning the thread. They would breathe fire at them. And when they first arrived, the Earth colonists had some pretty awesome technology, and they genetically engineered these creatures to be large enough to ride. And so they became the Dragonriders of Pern. Their mission was to defend the planet from these threat. Unfortunately, as time went on, they had to leave where they first landed. As time went on, of course, they forgot they came from Earth. They forgot their technology. They kind of lapsed back into a medieval mindset. But in these books are their adventures. The books actually end, the first trilogy actually ends with them solving the problem. And it involves a lot of interesting ideas. The way the dragons travel, they can teleport. And the way they do that is by basically picturing where they want to go, and they just somehow get there. Well, this turns out to have a lot of interesting uses in the stories as they go on. In fact, that Merida, the Dragon Lady of Pern, involves time travel. And, best of all, it isn't Earth-based time travel. And that's what I really liked about that one. I really like Merida. It isn't, they come back to 20th century Earth to look for humpback whales or something. They travel in their own time because thousands of years have passed since they arrived in Pern, and they travel back into their own past to, well, I would give the story away, wouldn't it? I just wanted to make this video really quick to remind people of the Dragonriders of Pern. They're really entertaining. They're really good. I highly recommend them. If you've never heard of them, I recommend you look them up. And if you have heard of them, I recommend that you give them a chance. Start, because there's so many books now, the fans out there say, oh, you got to start reading them chronological order. You got to start reading them in this order. I suggest reading them in publication order, maybe just the first trilogy. Read the first one to see if you like it, read the first trilogy, and then from there, go read some of the others, kind of. They're really kind of self-contained too, apparently. I really haven't read too many of the other ones. Give those a chance, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much for watching.